I wait for everybody to get their notifications, hop on. Hope everybody's having a good night. We're going to get into a serious conversation. Wait for some more people to hop in there. Disappointed in boxing. I've been disappointed in boxing for a long time. And I feel like we need to have like a real conversation. Oh, the Seahawks is playing the Cardinals. I'll put that on mute.
Bird on bird.
For everybody that's hopping in, what's good with you? Hope you're having a great night. Hope all is well with you. Hit that like button on your way in. Tay Go, what's good, man? All right, y'all. We about to get started. We got 9 people in here. Goon, what's up, Goon? Yo, subscribe. Subscribe to. Wait, it's Boxing with the Goon? Is that what it's called? Are you in your last hour work, Tay Go? What's the exact name of the channel, Goon? If you're a Terence Crawford fan, or if you just like good boxing debates, fuck with the Goon. Right? They be like boxing debate with the Goon. Yeah, subscribe to boxing debate with the Goon. If you a diehard Terence Crawford fan, or you just like really really good debates, man, subscribe to boxing debate with the Goon. They be getting in over there. All right, so as of late, I've been observing my comment section. I've been observing Twitter. I've been observing Instagram, all the social medias. And I'm not even gonna lie, I just get disappointed day by day by day by day. And it's disheartening to see like where the sport is and not just, fights not getting made um or guys, talking shit on Twitter. It's like overall what how the sport is consumed. And as of yet, we haven't really discussed what boxing's biggest problem is. And I feel like it's getting overlooked because a lot of people feel like, oh, it's the promoters. Oh, the fighters don't want to be great. Oh, it's the networks. Oh, it's the managers. But I feel like something's being glossed over and something's not being addressed. And we got to call shit to the carpet. So you had like all these mega fights. You had Earl Spence versus Terence Crawford. Crawford versus Canelo. You had Usyk Fury. There's a bunch of big fights. Tank Ryan, Dev Ryan. It was a really really bunch of big fights in the last couple of years, and you're starting to see like more and more big fights get made. But the problem is still there. The problem is still there. The problem isn't going away. And um, just to let anybody know, if you're not a subscriber, you can't comment. Uh, Too many times, we be putting on good content for people who are like unappreciative. Like subscribe, it's free. And so like I don't understand how you can be in here, every day and then not subscribe. So in order to actually interact in this conversation, you gotta be a subscriber. Point blank. Period. Uh, but I feel like the main issue in boxing isn't being addressed, and a lot of people won't agree with me because they're part of the problem. Boxing fans. Boxing fans are boxing's biggest problem. Boxing fans have been boxing's biggest problem ever since I've been watching boxing. Social media is the best and the worst thing that's happened to boxing because it gives unqualified people a chance to a chance to echo their sentiments. And it's a beautiful thing and it's a horrible thing. It is. I'm going to use each fighter as a case study. Terence Crawford, we'll start with him. In Terence Crawford's career, Terence Crawford has been undervalued, marginalized, minimized. For I think Bud's been a pro for what, 18 years? Bud's been a pro for like 18, yeah. Cause he turned. Hey, go. Did Bud? Can y'all check that for me? Did Bud turned around like 20, around 20 years old? But minimized, marginalized, undervalued, underappreciated for the better part of 16, 17 years. Only now is Terence Crawford is getting his just due. And what's the reason for that? The reason for that is Terence Crawford wasn't the guy that boxing chose. Wasn't the guy that the fans chose for whatever reason. For whatever the reason is, Terence Crawford wasn't the man that boxing chose. Maybe he wasn't cool enough. I mean, maybe he didn't dress like a rapper. Maybe he didn't talk the most shit. Like maybe his style wasn't flashy enough. Maybe he didn't sign with the biggest promoter straight out the gate. Maybe he didn't get the fights that he was supposed to get that would made him a star. But whatever the reason is, Terence Crawford has been undervalued, minimized, and just overlooked his entire fucking boxing career until now. When he beat Gamboa, great win. No, we're gonna start before that. Ricky Burns, first title fight. He was 20 going. All right, so yeah, 17 years going on 18 years, right? So he beats Ricky Burns, decisive victory. To my knowledge, that fight was over there. If I'm not mistaken, that fight was over there. But beat Ricky Burns, turns around and stops Yuriorkis Gamboa. Now, that fight was a very, very competitive fight. I had Gamboa up 4 rounds to 0. Crawford ended up switching, started controlling distance better, ended up clipping and hurting Yuriorkis Gamboa. But then after that, he was looked at as a quality fighter, but he didn't have this certain level of fanfare. There was always like question marks. There was always doubts. Now, mind you, he's coming off of 2 really, really good wins. Yeah, West Coast. I feel you on the Prescott one, but I'm talking about like the title fights. Like now that he established himself as a world champion. Because people, it's normal for people to doubt you as a prospect, as a contender. But once you cross that threshold as a world champion, you would think that that would come with a stamp. But it didn't. All you heard was what he wasn't. All you heard was, oh, he didn't fight this person. He didn't fight that person. He didn't beat this person. He didn't beat this person. Why does he fight that person? Why does he sign with this person? And this went on for the better part of a decade, yo. This went on for the better part of a decade. Win after win after win after win. It didn't matter. Because he wasn't the one that the fans chose. Fans make determinations based off of biased reasons. And it doesn't matter. Maybe a guy's from their town. Maybe they see some semblance of themselves in a fighter. Maybe they see somebody that they want to be like for whatever reason it is. Now, Kenneth, we talking about way before welterweight. See, like boxing fans, boxing fans are the problem. We talking about way before welterweight. We're talking about junior welterweight now. He was getting questioned at 35. He was getting questioned at 40. He was getting questioned at 47. Thomas Delorme. Thomas Delorme was a solid fighter coming off of good wins. Stops Thomas Delorme. Felix Diaz, everybody felt like he beat Lamont Roach. Stops Felix Diaz. Derry Jean, while he wasn't a great fighter, he was a contender. Stops Derry Jean. Postal, coming off of stopping the boogeyman. He beats Postal's ass. He beats his ass. Stops Hank Lundy. Hank Lundy gave plenty of dudes problems. Gave plenty of dudes tough fights. Stops him. Ndongo coming off of a great win. Ndongo was a unified champion. Stops him with a body shot. Even with that, even with wiping out an entire division, even with a fighter wiping out an entire division, still question marks. Still question marks. Oh, why didn't he fight this person? Why didn't he fight with that person? Why didn't he sign with this person? It goes on and going on. Boxing fans are never satisfied. With certain guys, the goalposts will always be moved. Because the expectations are for you to fail. We didn't choose you. Certain guys are allowed to take certain fights, certain guys aren't. Certain guys are allowed certain situations, certain guys aren't. Certain guys get past this, certain guys don't. Boxing fans are the problem. It starts with us. We're the ones that set the tone. The market responds to us. Nobody started caring about the O till we started caring about the O. We're the problem. We have high standards for certain fighters, and we don't have no standards for others. Nah, bro. The conversation isn't going where you think it's going. We are talking about the boxing fan, and I'm using 3 fighters as an example. Boxing fans are the problem because the reality is boxing fans are fans of fighters and not fans of boxing. Boxing fans are uninformed. Boxing fans are, I'm not even going to say biased. Boxing fans are super biased. And boxing fans have lost their objectivity. Boxing fans now have a gang mentality, us versus them, and I see it every day. And it sickens me. It sickens me to see where the sport is going. They operate like this shit is Bloods and Crips. It seems like people can't consume or enjoy boxing without them arguing with another side. Oh yeah, you fuck with PBC, stay over there. We top rank over there. What? That makes sense? Y'all treating promotional companies like gangs? Don't act like you don't see it. Kenneth, I didn't say it was the only problem. I said it was the biggest problem, brother. It's the biggest problem. People don't want to look in the mirror. People don't want to hold themselves accountable. Boxing fans are the biggest problem in boxing. There are a bunch of good fights. There are a bunch of good fights being made. There are a bunch of good fights on TV. There are a bunch of good fighters. We only talk about five of them. Fighter has a good win. But because that fighter wants to fight your fighter, all of a sudden he becomes your op for forever. You will never give that fighter credit. You will never show that fighter love because he wants to fight your guy. I see it every day. Spence fans didn't show Crawford no love. Tank fans don't show Dev no love. Shakur fans don't show Dev no love. And so on and so on. It's a cycle. And it's like y'all can't enjoy the sport without this fuck shit, without this bullshit, without this toxic chatty patty shit. Oh man, he had a baby on his baby mom. Oh, he hit his baby mom. Oh man, he was messing with G Herbo baby mom. What the fuck does that got to do with boxing, yo? We have gotten so far away from the sport our dads and our grandparents introduced us to. It's fucking ridiculous. We don't even analyze the X's and O's no more. We don't even do that. What do the conversations be now? About such and such beefing on Twitter. About fight negotiations that 99% of us don't really know the details and is running with what this channel said, what that channel said, and then all of a sudden motherfuckers become boxing business experts overnight. Like, let's keep this shit being. And when I say boxing fans, I'm talking about boxing fans that turned into YouTube channels, Instagram pages, Facebook pages. I'm addressing it all. I'm addressing it all. Green, you one of them. You one of the big ones. Boxing fans are the biggest problem. Simple as that. The promoters will respond to what we buy. If we start getting back to the sport in the true nature of the sport, then the promoters will have no choice but to give us what we want, give us what we need. But we're on this petty fucking bullshit. I see it in my comments every fucking day. It is more hate than love. It is more shit talking about the greatest fighters on earth than love. So if you're talking shit about the top 10 fighters in the world, nigga, who you like? Everybody is so focused on Terence Crawford's story and how Terence Crawford beat the haters and how Terence Crawford beat the odds, but not understanding that boxing fans created this toxic environment surrounding Terence Crawford. They did. Every victory, shitting on him. Every victory, undervalued. Every victory, minimizing it. Every victory, every accomplishment. You created this dynamic. Boxing fans did. A motherfucker go undisputed. Oh, man, well, yeah, but who did he beat? Like, undisputed is fucking easy. These are men that trained their whole fucking life for this sport. These are men that has been at the top level. Do you know what it takes to be a world champion? All of a sudden, when you beat a world champion, oh man, that ain't nothing, man. We want to see you fight a name. Half the time, names ain't nothing but great fucking promotion. People misconstrue promotion with ability. No, just because you see a motherfucker do 100 YouTube interviews doesn't mean he's a great fighter. Just because Golden Boy has a commercial of this dude every 5 minutes doesn't mean he's a great fighter. Styles make fights. It's the dude that you never heard of that will come in and beat somebody's ass. We've seen it. Yo, when it's Tellez. The boy Abbas Barriu. Now you're part of the problem too, Green. You're a fucking hater. Ain't no politically correct shit with me tonight, yo. Y'all been getting on my fucking nerves. A lot of times I don't like to antagonize people that show love to my channel, but I gotta call you out on the bullshit. I appreciate your support, and you know I bring you up here all the time, but you're a fucking hater, bro. And the shit be getting old, man. The shit be old and it be corny, man. You don't gotta carry it that way. Darren Collins Jr., another fucking hater. I appreciate them my guys, Green, Darren Collins, they my guys. Fucking haters, though. Where's the love for the sport? Where's the love? I don't hear nothing good come out of y'all mouth. Where's the love? You want to talk every day about something you hate? That's crazy, yo. Everybody know you're a big time hater, Darren. Super hater. But we're going to get to that. But boxing fans created the Terence Crawford dynamic. And then it takes fucking, I'm going to say, what would Crawford win the title in his first 6-7 years? It takes like another 10 years for him to squash that shit. When he should have been getting his just due for the last decade. When you become a world champion, you enter elite air. There have been hundreds of thousands of fighters. How many have won world titles? 1%? That takes a lot, bro. That takes a lot. But created this dynamic with Terence Crawford. Make him, I don't even know what you can call Terence Crawford now. And maybe he needed a chip on his shoulder. Maybe that was the driving force to make him great. I don't know. But the love he's getting now should have happened 10 years ago. Now, no, he wasn't a Hall of Famer 10 years ago, but he was a really, really good fighter that never got his love, never got his just due. And it's just fucked up seeing him get it now. And this is probably the last year or two that he boxes. So is this going to be like a farewell song? Like the toxic environment in boxing is what turns a lot of people off of the sport. It's just nothing but arguing and bickering every fucking day. Dudes can't watch boxing without trying to beef with another fan base. Now we're going to go to Gervonta Davis. Boxing fans are the problem. I watched Gervonta Davis become popular probably like early in his career, fighting on Floyd Mayweather's undercards, and you could see there was something special about Tank, right? Very, very explosive, very twitchy, very skilled. But he became popular differently than other fighters, and I think it was more of that he looks like a rapper that boxes more than like a traditional boxer, and you can see Tank getting hated on early. Like dudes were calling for him to take certain fights at like 20 and 21 only because they didn't like Floyd, and he was Floyd's uh understudy. Let me see that. And he just garnered a certain level of hate from that point on. Now, in his career, does Tank deserve some criticism? Of course, Tank deserves some criticism. There's been plenty of fights that we wanted to see Tank take. There was plenty of fights that there are plenty of fights that were ready and made sense that Tank didn't take. And for whatever reason, it was the business or it was just maybe Tank not wanting to challenge himself. Whatever it was, Tank didn't take those fights. But when it comes back to the fan bases, Tank's fan base allowed him to do that. Tank's fan base made excuses of why he shouldn't take this fight, that fight. And not all those fights that didn't happen was Tank's fault, but Tank's fan base allowed for the fuck shit. They did. And shit, you can see it every day. Tank is talking crazy to his fans on Twitter. Like, I don't know if you see that. That shit gotta be the most humbling shit in the world. For you to go to bat for a guy for like the last 5 to 10 years and then assault other fan bases and assault other fighters on a daily fucking basis, only for when Tank to finally acknowledge you, he telling you to shut your soft ass up. You I don't want to say I want to get the live flag, but suck my, you a bitch. All that. Like for you finally for for you, hey Tango, like the shit gotta be humbling, yo. Because for Tank to finally acknowledge how you've been riding, right? Tank cussing you out on Twitter, calling you all kinds of clowns and shit. But the problem ain't Tank in this particular. The problem is you. The problem is the boxing fan. Because why are you going out like you are Tank soldiers, attacking Shakur, attacking Frank Martin, attacking Dev? Like, why are you doing that? You look crazy. You look legitimately crazy going to bat for somebody that doesn't like you, that doesn't respect you, that doesn't value you. It's because you weren't a fan of the sport. You were a fan of a fighter. Now he got you out here looking crazy. Crazy. Shit's wild, bro. Somebody brought it to my attention. I didn't even know the shit was going on. I'm not a Twitter dude, bro. I go on Twitter. I'm like, yo. I'm talking about guys that literally troll Shakur, troll Devin, troll whoever is considered Tank's op unmercifully for like years, bro. Years. And then Tank, like, basically like, F you. I don't care. That's how I know Tank's on his way out. Tank stopped caring. And Tank don't care about nothing no more. Literally nothing. And that's how I know he's going. That's how I know he won't he won't be around. Because I'm talking about these dudes is his loyal following. Dudes starting up YouTube channels and, centered it around Tank and, and attacking Tank's ops. And he just giving them his ass to kiss. That shit is wild, bro. Hey, yo, and then after Tank talked crazy to him, they still like, oh, I'm gonna still ride with you, Tank. You still my guy. What? Yo. What? Like I said, boxing fans are the problem. Boxing fans are the problem, bro. Darren Collins is the problem. Green's the problem. Boxing fans are the problem. The Bud Crawford era, boxing fans are the problem. I don't think that Tank fans are traditional boxing fans, but it's nice having people that might be new to boxing coming into boxing and excited about boxing. But the problem is it's just about one fighter, and they're weaponizing their fandom. That's what the issue is. Weaponizing their fandom. You don't gotta attack every fighter that wants to fight Tank to prove your loyalty, to prove your love. If you think Tank could beat, uh, you think Tank could beat Shakur, you think Tank could beat that, then cool. But you don't gotta shit on them. You don't. You'll shit on a fighter for 5 fucking years. Then if Tank beats him, then we're like, oh man, you gotta give Tank his credit, man. He just beat such and such. Well, you told me the dude wasn't shit for 5 years. You don't gotta shit on somebody to love your guy. You don't gotta do that. Boxing fans are the problem. We need to change how we can see how we consume the sport. We need to change how we see the sport. We need to change how we interact with the sport. This toxic shit gotta stop. Darren, you are the problem, Darren. You are the problem, Darren. West Coast boxing. With Virgil Ortiz video. Nah, man. NHA, no. That's a scapegoat, brother. Oh, wanting the best to fight the best. Became hating? No. No. But trolling fighters on YouTube, never giving fighters credit, trolling fighters on Twitter, hating on every accomplishment, every opponent, that's hating, bro. That's hating. You saying you want to see a particular fight isn't hating. But how you carry shit with that, that's hating. They'll tell you a top 10 contender, man. Oh, man, he ain't shit. Oh, man, he ain't this, he ain't that. He's a top 10 contender in the world. Now, do I think Virgil is a great fighter? No, I don't think Virgil's a great fighter. I think Virgil's a good fighter. And I think Virgil has beaten good fighters. And I think him and Boots is a great fight. I favor Boots. I think Boots stops him. But that doesn't mean that Virgil doesn't pose danger to Boots, because he does. He's a big kid, fast hands, good power, sturdy, strong dude. You can love your guy. You can show love to your guy without shitting on everybody else. This shit is toxic. Boxing fans created the dynamic with Terence Crawford. Boxing fans created the dynamic with Gervonta Davis. Now, Tank fans, the chickens then came home to roost. Like the guy that you carried the shield for, bro. He is letting y'all have it on Twitter. That shit is crazy. That shit is ridiculous. Canelo what fight? Against Caleb Plant? Yeah, he won against Caleb Plant. Against Billy Joe Saunders? Yeah, he won that. I know you ain't talking about Terence Crawford. I know you ain't talking about that fight. Ain't no way in hell you could think. Ain't no way in hell you could think that that Canelo won against Terence Crawford. I wouldn't say 11-2, 10-2. I had it 8-4-9-3, but I think it was a decisive 8-4-9-3. Oh, Olmec. The reason why is because they're fanatics. They're fanatics, and that goes into the last part of this. Terrence Crawford fans fought so hard against what they felt like was biased and unjust opinions and comments and related to Terrence Crawford and unfair treatment for years. Like I saw them going back and forth with Spence fans for years about how Crawford doesn't get his credit, about how Crawford doesn't get his respect. OMAC only only for them to turn around and do the same thing to somebody else. Boxing fans. Boxing fans are the problem. The reality is, Terence Crawford fans treat Jaron Ennis the way Terence Crawford was treated early in his career. Won't acknowledge it. They're gonna be in the comments coming up with all these bullshit excuses and no, no, no. Yes, you're doing the same thing. You're trying to justify it. You're trying to come up with reasons of why. Oh no, I'm not like Spence fans. No, no, well, I'm different because no, it's the same shit. I watched it for years. I wasn't I wasn't a Spence or a Crawford guy. My nickname for Spence was the plain hoagie. Y'all know that? Plain hoagie, plain pizza, plain bag of chips. Been saying that for years. I thought Terence Crawford was the better fighter. I had Terence Crawford stopping him up until the Ugas fight. After the Ugas fight, I changed my tune. I thought it was a 50-50 fight. And my questions only, it wasn't about who was the better fighter. It was strength, physicality. I didn't know how Crawford would be able to, if Crawford would be able to be physically strong in the clinch, and could he take Spencer's jab away. I didn't think Crawford would win a decision. I thought if Crawford won, it would be by stoppage. Terence Crawford is probably top 5 fighters I've seen as far as like punching in between somebody's shots, timing on punches. It's like he'll fit a punch in there where you don't think a punch should go and would go. Like the uppercut with fucking Jose Benavidez. That was a weird ass shot, bro. The what is the jab hybrid hook that he hit Kell Brook with, that he stopped him with? It's a weird shot. But I say all that to say this. Y'all just on the other ends of the spectrum now. The victim has become the perpetrator. OMAC, they in my comments every day. A post don't even gotta be about Terence Crawford. I have Terence Crawford in it. Here they come. Here they come. Every comment, every channel. Yeah, I watch y'all. Problem. A problem. Don't like when the mirror is shined on y'all. Y'all have become what y'all hated. But there's still time to stop. Boxing fans, there's still time. There's still time to actually enjoy boxing. Terence Crawford fans seem like they can't enjoy boxing without there being a civil war. They need a op. They need somebody to go against. Even if it makes sense, even if it doesn't make sense, they need that. They thrive off of that. They thrive off of conflict. Because if they don't have an op or a side to go against, what do they have? Right now, they should be celebrating Crawford's win against Canelo. All I see him is arguing in the comments. Beat Spence, beat Canelo. Can't even enjoy it. Nah, safe. Now, the last interview I did, right, is with Boots. And I'm looking at the comments, and I'm just like, the first comments I saw is, oh man, don't nobody care and this and that. But y'all been asking me for this interview for 2 weeks. Fans have been literally on my other comments and other videos asking, when are they going to get this interview? 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 Then when I say, okay, the interview's dropping at 12, man, don't nobody care about that shit. Y'all the problem. Y'all confused. And Omac is not even a fan. Omac's kind of like in the middle, but y'all out of pocket, bro. Y'all are drawing. It's bad. Y'all have gotten bad. Y'all have gotten horrible. Y'all are on Pactard level. If you've been watching boxing long enough, Manny Pacquiao fans were terrible fans. Terrible fans. Terrible. Y'all have gotten that bad. Y'all have gotten that bad. It is wild. It's wild. And Tego, here's the thing, right? Anybody that watches Tego, Omac, there isn't a lot of Boots interviews. I don't do a lot of Boots interviews. I'll interview like Greg a lot. I interview Bozy a lot. I interview Rel. I interview a lot more fighters than I interview Boots. The reality is Boots doesn't watch boxing like that. So I'll go to get his reactions, and you know me, that shit brings me money. Because no matter what they say, you watch. So you can like him, dislike him, whatever I put up with Boots, people watch. And it does really well, and I make a lot of money off of it. But you don't really see a lot of Boots reactions to fights. He doesn't watch boxing. Literally, he doesn't watch boxing. And especially in training camp, like I gotta be persistent to be like, look, Antoine Adams, cat. Fuck, I got a lot for. In a boxing fan's mind, because that was a big fight to you, because that is your pastime, because that is your passion, the world got to stop. That's these fighters' jobs. It's not just him. A lot of fighters that I covered do not watch boxing. I gotta literally tell them what happened in the fight. I gotta literally pull up a fucking a video of the fight. A lot of them do not watch boxing. That's their job. They're in the boxing gym. They're in the boxing gym 5, 6 days a week. A lot of them watch basketball, battle rap, football, movies, listen to music, etc. I'm around these dudes all the fucking time. A lot of them do not watch boxing. If they watch boxing, it'll be these old ass fights. A lot of them don't. They decompress. You got some that love boxing, boxing consumes them, they watch every fight, and you got some that just literally they just punch on people. And after they punch on people, after they train, they off doing something else. You say a lot of them watch boxing live. Some watch boxing live, but let's talk about the fighter that we're talking about. Do you see him at fights? How many fights have you seen him at that the fight didn't pertain to a teammate of his? Alan Day, teammate of his, Andy Cruz. Tell me another fight that you've seen. Tell me a fight that you've seen that it wasn't a teammate. Was he at Spencer Crawford? Appreciate the $10 super chat from my man John Ware. Mill, I know what it is. You know boxing. You say it don't make sense for Bud, but as a fan, you would like to see the fight. Okay, cool. Bud fans is mad because they're delusion and they can't get you there. Bro, right now, John, I don't think the fight makes sense because of weight. Is it a fight that I would have loved to have seen? Yeah. I felt like stylistically it was the best fight in boxing. Even narrative is the best fight in boxing. But it didn't happen. And so because one dude wanted to fight another dude, does that mean he's your op for life? Because that's how y'all carrying it, bro. Because Dev wanted to fight Tank, does that mean he's the op for life? Because Shakur wanted to fight Tank, does that mean he's the op for life? That makes sense to y'all? Is that the only way y'all can watch boxing? Is that the only way y'all can enjoy boxing? If it is, then you're not a fan of the sport. If it is, you're not a fan. No, but tell me what fights he's at, Alan. Tell me what fights you see him in. Please. Since he capping, tell me the fights that you've seen him in that wasn't related to a teammate. Go. Andy Cruz, teammate. Wasn't at Spencer Crawford. Wasn't at Tank and Ryan. Wasn't at the Riyadh season card. Tank and Ryan's in New York. Riyadh season's in New York. Wasn't there. A lot of fighters don't watch boxing. But I can understand how y'all can't fathom that because y'all don't really get a chance to interact with them like that. And so because you love boxing so much, boxing's your passion. You was like, ain't no way in hell you could be a world champion and not watch, bro. I'm telling you. I'm telling you. And shit, if we want to talk about the time, that fight didn't. When did that fight end? At two something? I was supposed to do a live with Greg Hackett, and Greg Hackett fucking fell asleep. Greg Hackett fell asleep. Might have been during Christian and Billy. Maybe, or maybe before that. Greg Hackett fell asleep. And then Billy versus Martinez. Yo, you got a YouTube name named Mimi, bro. How serious can we take you? Boxing fans. Boxing fans create fake accounts so they can talk shit and troll. But they not the problem. They'll make finsters just so they can troll people. I want you to think about everything that we have going on in our lives. I want you to think about wife, kids, work. In the downtime that some of these dudes get, you spend trolling fighters. We got to change, man. We got to change, yo. We got to change. We got to change. If boxing fans were different, Terence Crawford wouldn't be the position that he was in. If boxing fans were different, Gervonta Davis wouldn't be cussing you the fuck out on Twitter. We got to change. Sports got to change, Hannibal. Sports. If you saying if they like that in every sport, then motherfucking fans got to fucking change. Fans are out of pocket. Fans are on nut shit. People need to call you out on it, though. That guy, Greg, fell asleep. But somehow, nah, man, Boo's lying, man. That fight came on at 2 in the morning. NHA. Well, I appreciate the $5, bro. And I appreciate your love and support. Bud fans do not like Boots. Bud fans haven't liked Boots for years. We're not going to sit here and tell that lie. They don't like him. They can't stand him. Bushido's Boxing is probably the #1 Terence Crawford channel on planet Earth. And me and him laugh about it because no matter how much positive shit he puts up about Boots, here come his fan base trashing him. He literally laughs about it. He be like, bro, I don't know why, bro. I can't get them to like Boots. That's a Boots fan. That's a Bud fan, a diehard Bud fan. You know, before it was cool to be a Bud fan, because now it's cool to be a Terence Crawford fan. 5 years ago, it wasn't cool to be a Terence Crawford fan. Kiwi, you want me to call out the boxing content creators? Fuck it, let's have it then, man. And I don't normally do this, but let's have it. Fanon and manager Marty are my guys. I don't like the way they treat or cover Terence Crawford. I don't think that they're fair with Terence Crawford. I don't think that they cover Terence Crawford in an unbiased manner. I don't. How can it all be negative with one of the greatest fighters that we have ever seen? In our lifetime, he's one of the greatest that we've ever seen. He's one of the greatest fighters that we heard about. I don't agree with how they cover him. I fuck with him. Marty's my guy. I like Fanon. I just don't agree how they cover him. I don't. I don't agree how dude Southpaw covers Dev. It's a couple of people, bro. It's a couple of people that I don't like how they treat certain dudes. It doesn't all have to be hate. I feel like there's too much hate in boxing. Showbiz. I didn't like how Showbiz carried it with Bud. I feel like Showbiz, he picks a side and he acts like he's not picking that side, but no, he's picking that side. Two Tone, I'm not really familiar with too much of this shit. But what I'm saying is you can be biased for your guy without hating and denigrating somebody else. I don't really watch Shamside like that. I can only speak on like the channels that I've come across. And since I fuck with Fanon, since I fuck with Marty, I watch the shit. But I don't agree with how they cover Terence Crawford. And I know me and Marty's had that conversation, so I'm not telling you nothing that I haven't said to him. But they want to run their channels the way I run their channels. the way they run their channels. I'm saying that as boxing fans, we got to be better. We got to be better. We don't have you. Everybody has inherent biases. You're from Philly, you like the Philadelphia Eagles. You're from Dallas, 9 times out of 10, you like the Dallas Cowboys. But we don't have to shit on other people to show love to our guy. It is too much negativity in the fucking sport. If you want to talk about how your guy is the baddest motherfucker on earth, then say that. You don't gotta shit on somebody else to build him up. Everybody isn't an op. This ain't gangs, yo. We're not countries at war. We're watching fucking sport for our entertainment. Can y'all not enjoy boxing without any of that bullshit? And the fact that y'all in our comments trying to deflect and put it on me, you're the problem. You are the problem. I don't have to agree how you cover a certain topic for me not to fuck with you. I just don't agree with how you cover that specific topic. Marty, he puts out a lot of good content, but it gets overshadowed by a lot of people because of the Terence Crawford stuff, because of the Devin Haney stuff. But he makes a lot of informative content. I just don't agree with those particular two subjects that he covers. I have a different position. Country Q. People are going to be people, and people need to be called out for their bullshit. And then you get dudes in the comment like this dude named Witty. You can tell this dude reading level gotta be low. 5th grade, 6th grade, and I don't even talk like this. I normally be on my PC shit, but you sound like a dickhead, bro. Can we all get along? Why shouldn't we all want to get along? Why shouldn't that be the goal? Why shouldn't positivity be the goal? Why shouldn't we enjoy the sport? Like you sound like a whole fucking nut. If you don't want to really enjoy boxing and really learn about the sport, get the fuck out of here, bro. If you want to take that chatty patty bullshit, all the toxic, you want to watch fucking baddies boxing. That's what you want to watch. Baddies boxing. Fucking love and hip hop of boxing. That ain't here, cuz. That ain't here. And what I'm tired of doing is I'm tired of being politically correct so I can keep my fucking subscribers. Man, if you on that bullshit, fuck you. Nah, Alan, I'm a gangbanger for your mom, bro. I love Mrs. Day. I love her. She's a good woman. She's really, really good friend of mine. I enjoy her company. Yo, we packed up Spence fans, all the Mexican fans, and Boots fans. We packed them up. Bro, Green. Who did you fight? We? Who did you fight? You helped Bud Train? You helped the spit bucket. Did you hold the heavy bag? What aspect did you help Bud prepare? So you didn't rumble. Are you a part of his management team? Are you a part of his PR team? Are you a part of his promotional team? Then who the fuck is we, yo? I don't call dudes beloved, bro. It's a bit sassy. Who's we, bro? Who's we? But when I say you the problem, it's falling on deaf ears. We? Who's we? This is not a gang, dude. That mindset is fucking up boxing. Gang mentality. Us, them, yeah, we packed them up. We know Terence Crawford defeated Canelo Alvarez. Terence Crawford defeated Earl Spence. Terence Crawford hasn't fought Jaron Ennis. But we didn't do anything. Terence Crawford won those fights. These dudes told me I was wrong only to prove that I was right in one sentence. Yo, people forget that I pushed back on the undertones. I didn't agree with it. Appreciate the $10 super chat from my man Darren Collins. All love from the Mad Rapper. Hit the like button. And I don't want people to think that I don't like Green Green or Darren Collins. I just think they haters. And I'm calling them out on any bullshit. But they longtime supporters and I appreciate them. Woody, you can tell you're an old head if you know who the Mad Rapper is. You showing your age, brother. You showing your age. Because that skit was like from like 9-7, bro. My shit more John Blaze than his. What does that got to do with he was sparring Canelo. What does that have to do with it? Last one, and appreciate you. Appreciate you stopping by, man. We having a really, really deep conversation. Boxing fans just had to be better. Because Boots is moving up to 154 pounds. And Boots wanted to get elite level sparring. Very simple. Same way Boots called up Sean Porter and asked for the work. How is that any different? Boots was preparing for Stanionis. He saw Sean Porter was out there sparring people. Let me give him a call. Let me see if he'll spar me. Because that don't make sense to y'all. Sparring the best possible people in the world. How many dudes that you can spar that's better than Canelo? Syfe, appreciate the $10 super chat, brother. Appreciate the love, man. Long time supporter, man. I appreciate you, bro. But how many dudes can you spar that's better than Canelo? Sal, I don't know, bro. I think that's a dangerous fight for Ortiz. I respect him for taking it. But I don't know, man. That's a 50-50 joint. It's a 50-50 joint. Where do I think Boots' ceiling is? I think Boots' ceiling is dependent on what kind of fights he gets. Everything's dependent on the fights. See, right now you can judge Boots by his performances against Stanionis, Lipinets, and Roman Villa. But how you cross over into that other tier is when you get those big fights. And right now, he hasn't gotten the big fights that could prove what people eyes are telling him and such. Right now, within the last 3 years, Terence Crawford got a chance to prove it by getting those fights. Why was it Donnell? Why is it relevant when he did it or when he didn't do it? Sparring is sparring. The only people that feel some kind of way is Crawford's fans. But sparring is sparring. So that was the fight that I wanted for his 154 debut. Looks like Ramos is moving up to 160 pounds. Thoughts on Lima? Watched a couple of fights. To me, Lima doesn't look like he's nothing special. I think Boots should stop Lima within 4 to 8 rounds. He looks strong, looks sturdy, looks like he has decent hand speed. But as far as him being overly skilled, no, I don't see that. I just see him as a strong fighter that's hungry. He's coming off with some solid wins, but I think Lima's out of his depth. I think that Lima is going to be in there with the best version of Jaron Ennis that you're going to see this far. The reason the reason why I'm not going to say three is because now Boots isn't the bigger man in the ring. Now he's the smaller man moving up, and he's some big fucking dudes. So yo, my cat be doing the most. Can you chill? Darren, there is no vacant belt anymore, Darren. There is no vacant belt. The WBA champion is Abbas Baru. I think that is his name. There's no more vacant belt. There's a couple of things I noticed that Boots can have success on against Lima. Now, is he the guy that Boots wanted to make his 154-pound debut against? No. But I mean, it is what it is. It's a new division. It's a bunch of good fights up here. Hopefully, he can get those fights. No, MDA. Charlo is fighting Earl Spence. And I'll break some other news for y'all. Charlo is fighting Earl Spence, and Janabek is fighting Irislan Lara. I don't normally like to break news. That's really not my thing. That's like other people's things. But Irislan Lara and Janabek's going to rumble. So remember that you heard it first. Heard it here. Yep. Janabek versus Lara. Spence, Charlo. I like both fights. No, it's gonna be Lara, not Adames. Adames, the negotiations fell through, so it's gonna be Lara. Bud could fight Adames, even though I don't think Bud's gonna want to though. But I like Bud and Eubank, but now that Bomac is with him, that fight isn't gonna happen. Yeah, but I don't think Adames is worth Bud's. I don't want to be disrespectful, but Bud's 38 years old and just beat Canelo Alvarez. It got to be something that makes him want to get out of bed. And I'm not sure outside of Jamal Charlo, I'm not sure there's anything that will get him out of bed at this point in time. Janabek, I don't think that gets Bud out of bed. Only if like Janabek could get the next two belts and become undisputed, that might get Bud out of bed. But I think that'd be it. Like if Janabek became undisputed while Bud is resting, and then he'll be like, all right, well, I got a chance to be a fourth division undisputed, then that could possibly get him out of bed. But I don't really see it. I don't. No, no, I wasn't saying Jamel. I was saying Jamal. If Crawford were to defend his belts at 168 pounds, I think Jamal would make sense. Jamal's not a real 68. Jamal's undefeated, and Jamal is a fight that could sell. What up, youngin? I don't think that gets Bud. I don't think Adamas gets Bud out of bed, bro. I just don't. I like Charlo. I like Maul Charlo and Bud. Though. I like that fight. I like that fight a lot. Put that shit in Vegas. Put that shit in wherever, bro. I like that fight a lot. Man, Bud is gonna whip Janabek ass. You hear me? Bud is gonna put Janabek on a t-shirt. He a big, strong kid, but he gonna put him in. He gonna put him on a milk cart and put him in a pack. No, people, but Sean, that's the problem with boxing fans. Boxing fans with the picking and choosing. Nobody criticizes Janabek's resume. Nobody makes videos on Janabek. Who the fuck is Janabek for? We pick and choose. We criticize three or four fighters, talk about three or four fighters, and that's it. But the sport has to change. We have to change. We got to change, y'all. We got to change. We got to change, man. Boxing fans have to change. Boxing fans is boxing's biggest problem. Inconsistency, weaponizing your fandom, being overly critical. Got to change, man. Hit the subscribe button. We trying to get to 100,000 subs. I don't see Earl beating Mel. I never saw that. I never thought that. I don't think he can beat him. I never thought Earl was a better fighter than Mel. Never did. Let's get back to the love, y'all. Let's get back to the sport. Stop saying shit like we. This ain't gangs, man. The blacks didn't fight the Mexicans. Terence Crawford for Canelo. That's it. Terence Crawford beat Canelo decisively. Show Crawford some love. You said y'all started calling Avanesian avocado. Never called him avocado. David Avanesian's actually a good friend of mine. So yeah, I went. I had a classic clubbing night with fucking Avanesian in a Russian spot. Me and Johnny Ortiz. Fucking classic clubbing night with Avanesian, bro. Avanesian is fucking hilarious, yo. At a Russian spot, bro. Where he's doing those dances, the where you like hook somebody's arms. Y'all know that Russian shit? Yeah, we started that. Classic night, yo. Classic night. Crawford's definitely a legend. Crawford was a legend before this fight. Crawford just cemented himself as being his generation's best. Simple as that. Crawford's the best fighter of his generation. Can't even like you can make an argument for Usyk, but at the end of the day, bro, nah, it's Crawford. Green Green, I'm fucking hilarious. You ain't know? I'm hilarious. No, NHA, like Green Green didn't know. Evanesia's my man. I'm gonna say this to you. Don't be surprised if you get Crawford versus Triple G. I say that to you. Okay? Don't be surprised. Now, Lara versus Janabek is definitely a thing. That's definitely gonna happen. I'm just telling you. If you get Crawford versus Triple G, just remember I told you, don't be surprised. If Haney beats Norman Jr., will he be top 10? You goddamn right. I think that Canelo versus Crawford has people looking at other fights differently. When people just assume because one dude's a bigger puncher, then that he's automatically going to win. I think Haney versus Norman is a 50-50 fight, a really, really good fight. It don't matter, bro. It don't matter if the fight makes sense. I'm telling you, don't be surprised if you get it. Just don't. Where does Inoue rank in this generation? To me, Inoue's like fifth. I break like the generation up. Like you got everybody under 30, and then you got everybody over 30. I think Inoue's like fifth. You got Crawford number one. I think Usyk two, Canelo three. I'm trying to think who would be four. Maybe it could be Inoue, or you could Bivol could be four. I don't know. Nah, I don't got Inoue over Canelo though. Canelo took some tough fights, bro. He took some tough fights. He faced he faced the who's who of boxing. He did. Win some, lose some, but he fought him. Now some dudes he fought, I felt like when they was past it, but fighting Bivol, fighting Lara, fighting Floyd, fighting Crawford, those tough Johns, man. Those tough fights. Those were tough fights, bro. Those were really, really tough fights. But yeah, I'm about to dip out of here. Just we gotta be better, y'all. We gotta be better. That toxic shit is taking over. Trolling. Like we don't troll, we men. We don't troll. That shit was the generation way after us. Nah, that's not how we carry shit. We come from the era where what you say gets you punched in the mouth. Since when we start trolling? Trolling was for nerds, bro. We didn't do that. Nah, man, that's not us. That's not us. Let's look in the mirror. That's not us, y'all. Be better. Do better. I think we gotta fucking go and watch like these old HBO fights to remember who we are. Remember an era before all this bullshit. Exactly. Hide behind a keyboard. Nah, man. If you like Bud, like Bud. If you like Tank. If you like Shakur, like Shakur. If you like Boots, fight. You like Boots. You like Dev, you like Dev. But it's not a us versus them. It's not a you versus me. That's not what this is. We are fans. We like a sport. Simple as that. Damn, Green, nah, I ain't gonna let you just stroll on my homie, bro. Why you gotta get violent, man? Nah, I ain't gonna let you just steal on Marty, bro. We ain't doing that. We ain't doing that. Y'all can talk that out. But here I am, like saying that to Green, but there's a couple dudes on YouTube I want to get at, bro. I ain't gonna lie to you. There's a couple dudes that I want to just punch them right in their shit. I guess I gotta practice what I preach. You said what hatred come from? You talking about Green and Marty? I don't know. I don't know. Oh no, it's a couple dudes I want to get at. I ain't even gonna give them the heads up. When I see them, they know what it is. Yo. They know what it is. What was the Jeezy John? You know what it is. Set the fade up. Damn. I ain't giving the heads up on nobody, bro. Just now, I ain't always in that gym just recording, yo. You know how bulls would be like catching them shots, man. Y'all gonna see me on fucking YouTube like wop wop. I try to go live a couple times a week now. Yeah. Mm. And just because I was talking shit today, don't mean I don't love my fans because I do. I appreciate y'all. Y'all give me an opportunity to do something I love, and I'm always going to be grateful for that. I don't ever think I'm too big for y'all. Even if I get 100, 200, 300,000 subs, I'm never going to forget where I come from. Right? I was the dude with fucking 100 subs DMing people so they can subscribe to my channel. And I'm going to always be that guy. I just feel like we need to be better as boxing fans. We need to change. We don't need to be doing all this bullshit. We can love somebody without hating somebody else, man. And that's it. Appreciate y'all. I'm going to head out. Subscribe to the channel. Got a bunch of good content. I got Virgil Ortiz talking about Jaron Ennis. I got more Keith Thurman. I got more Robert Garcia. I got more Shacky Foster. I got a lot of good shit coming. Danny Garcia, etc., man. Look out for it. We out here.